Okay, hello everyone. Today we have Arielle Escalona, a friend of ours from Poveda, and a very successful entrepreneur, businesswoman. So, Arielle, before we start our proper interview, Bea and I want to ask for a little tip. Because we tend to stalk your Instagram. I follow you on Instagram, and one thing that I noticed is somehow you're always very very fit. So tell us, what's the secret to getting abs?
Yeah, I
Um,
wanna
I
know
don't.
the real deal, the
Oh,
real,
yung
cause
totoo
like
ha.
not
Okay,
like, cause some people just
no
say, oh,
BS.
yeah, yeah, like what does it take? Cause people thought like you have to eat a lot of chicken breast. What's the deal?
For me,
Yeah.
like, okay, so actually after college, I didn't do anything. Literally, like I had like a phase wherein I didn't know what to do. So
Mm.
just a bit of a background, I've been cheerleading since grade school till college. So every time I would like binge eat on like McDonald's and Jollibee, I know I have a backup. I know like we'll have training anyway for like 4 hours every single day. But when I graduated, I actually gained a lot, probably like 20 to 25 pounds. And I was working out almost every single day. I was doing like hardcore workouts, like insanity. I was
Oh.
doing it by myself, but nothing seemed to work. Like it was really, really hard. So I thought it was like the age, the metabolism, maybe it was the food I was eating. I was still eating the same as I was, like how I would in college.
Mm.
Then um, I think there was like a breaking point wherein my pants couldn't fit anymore. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna go shopping because I'm not gonna replace all my whole wardrobe basically. So
Mm.
I actually got an online coach. So that was the start. And he made me realize actually there was more in the food and not really like I really believe in the 80-20 rule that 80% talaga is the food that you eat.
Yeah.
When I started changing like minimal lang, like it's not even hardcore diet because I know that doesn't work for me talaga. Like I really like eating in general. So for me it was like the small steps, the little steps, like eating small portions throughout the day and trying to find like activities that I would actually enjoy, not just like watch a video and then follow it for like 15 minutes and then that's it. It was really more of a change in food. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, maybe like at first they were like telling me, yes, you have to eat like grilled chicken or like chicken breast, and I really didn't like that. So I
Yeah.
tried to find things that worked for me. So I really like seafood, so I would opt for like salmon or like tuna.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just the little steps, and I also always forgot to eat, and I would binge eat for one big meal. So that was really wrong. Um, so even
Mm.
if I didn't eat like the whole day, I would still try to snack. So snacking is
Yeah.
not bad. It's just the food
Mm.
that you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, I try to stay active for in because I feel like it's also a release when I'm too stressed with work.
Mm. It really has to be a part of you, right, Shari? I mean, we talk
Mm.
about this. Like you go from we all go from like yo-yo dieting, and then it's like I need to lose 10 kilos, and then it's gonna creep back in, and
I know.
it's not really sustainable.
I
And
know.
is that why you started Pure Nectar, Ariel? Like, is that something a big part of that, or is what's the reason why you started Pure Nectar? If I may ask.
Yeah. So actually, when I graduated, I had absolutely no idea what I was gonna do. Actually, like I remember I graduated March 2014, and
Mm.
then I would just go on beach trips with my friends because I realized also how much time I lost just training for Babbel. And then so I maxed it out, and then one day my dad just said, "You're going to start working tomorrow. You're going to go with me to the office and you're going to start working whatever it is. You just have to go there." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll join the family business for like temporarily before I apply for other companies."
Which is
And
fruit
back
magic,
then,
correct,
yeah,
Ariel?
Fruit
Fruit
Magic.
magic.
Yeah, that was Fruit Magic. And then when I joined, my dad just told me, okay, since you do Photoshop, like just revise all the menu, make it look nice, just things like that. And then eventually I was like trying to, so at first it was just marketing. So I would go to the stores and actually listen to people and what they say about the product, what they ask about. And then like for some reason that year, a lot of my friends who were in like who were working corporate jobs told me that it's so difficult for them to just live a healthier lifestyle. For them, it's like preparing their own meals is almost impossible, especially if your call time is like 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. That means you have to be leaving your house 2 to 3 hours before just because of the traffic. So at the start, I just literally told my dad that what if we bottle the shakes so that people can bring it with them or it can be delivered from the store. And then he said, okay, let's try. So it was like 2 to 3 months. We were just trying, and it was really, really bad. Like we would juice or we would just blend fruits and vegetables. We'd bottle it. So I would try to bring it with me, and it would just pop. Like it
Mm.
would spoil, it wouldn't work talaga. Then eventually my dad said there must be a system behind this. So we actually went to the US and then we went to a convention, like it's like a conference for all natural food and things like that. And that's where we learned like the whole technology behind like pressing juices. And so yeah, that's how it started. Pure Nectar probably had like 4 or 5 different names before we actually launched it. At first it was really pangit. Like I didn't even have names for the juices. I would just call them like green one, green two, red one, red two, like that. It was just really like pilot testing and then seeing what worked. And yeah, that's how it started. And we introduced it to about 5 stores of Fruit Magic, existing stores. And it blew up. Like people just really wanted more of it. So we would even get messages like, why don't you have it in this store? Why is it just in, let's say, Shangri-La? Why not in SM or something like that? So we just tried to roll it out as slowly and as gradual as possible, just because we wanted to be sure with the entire system first.
Okay, so when you focused on Pure Nectar, was there anything in your body saying, "Oh, I want to modernize Fruit Magic"? Was that ever an agenda of yours, and how did you do it?
Yeah, so actually, when I joined and I started revising the menus and things like that, I was just really annoyed with the whole branding altogether. Like, it wasn't me. The logo probably had like 13 or 14 different colors, and it was just so hard to edit. And then just like rolling it out in stores is already really expensive also because of all the colors I have to work with. And so I said, I want like a modern, Instagrammable brand that's super easy to understand and solve the problem of people of like, you know, like not being able to eat or drink healthy food just because they don't have time to do it by themselves.
Yeah, I like that.
I love that because I think it's like it started from a bit of listening to your customers and then some frustrations, and it's not like an overnight thing that happens. You go through so many changes. Like even with our show, like the first colors that we used are so different from now, and it still keeps changing. I am curious,
My
Ariel,
favorite is
like
when you scroll back, you have like a neon pink of Bea in like a Mexican wrestler outfit, and me like in a helmet. Like, I don't know. And
I know, definitely no shame in that. Like I think we laugh at it now, but I'm still proud of it. I think in some way, and I think that's important. But for you, Ariel, like what's your advice to women who want to start their own business? Since you know, obviously you work with a family business, but Pure Nectar is something you've kind of thought of. Like, um, what would you say to other women?
Yeah, for me, it's like don't be afraid to take baby steps. Like what you mentioned, it's not an overnight thing. Like if you launch a certain color or a certain name or a certain logo, like
Mm.
there's no like there's no rule that you can't change it or revise it or make it better. Because for me, like what worked for Pure Nectar was that I actually listened to the customers, their needs and their like um what they wanted, what kind of like profiles we're actually buying, and what do I need to solve from that. So yeah, don't be afraid of doing like baby steps and trying it out. For us, I think that was an advantage. We aren't a huge company. Like I can imagine like Unilever brands wherein they launch a certain design for like let's say shampoo, and it takes about years just to like create a model for that, or like just the design for it and the colors that they use, because there's so much like process behind it. But the advantage of going with a small starting small is also being able to like revise it along the way and learn how to like improve it.
Yeah. Ariel, to jump a little bit, I know that you work with your family, so I'm sure they've given you a lot of advice about business, marketing, and whatever. But we are a show about love and life, so we are curious. What is the best and worst advice about love that you have gotten from your family or friends?
Okay, maybe let's start with the worst.
Mm,
I think
it's
the
good.
worst advice that I heard, not really towards me, but I heard in general, is
Mm.
that people can change.
Do you think they can?
Like,
No.
I'm
no,
just no.
no, okay.
Yeah, ako talaga no. Pessimistic.
No, I think, okay, like, yes, people can change naman. Like, but, okay, maybe it's like, wait lang.
Tago na
Yeah,
lang
maybe
natin
for
siya.
for for certain things, like, you know, if you meet somebody early early stages of your life, and then there are things that you don't like non-negotiables from the very beginning. Like for me kasi, if that's the value that's instilled with them, parang you can't really change that, or you can't expect to change people in a relationship. And I've learned that the hard way. You know, like when you meet people, it's like, oh, everything, like you're okay with that person, and then later on you learn some things na parang okay, red flags na siya, and then you just let it pass, and then hoping that you like parang the person or your partner can actually change that person into something. But for me, it's like I don't think you can.
Actually, a follow-up question to that. A lot of our viewers and our listeners ask us this question when it comes to change. I mean, Bea has experienced it also. I guess, Bea, you can answer this. And our listeners who
Yeah,
sent us
go for
messages.
it.
Is the statement once a cheater, always a cheater true or false?
For me,
Yeah, for you
true,
and for Bea. True, once a cheater, always
true,
a cheater.
yeah.
Bea, forgiving
Mm,
si
I
Bea.
I am a very forgiving person. But sige, let's just go for because that's an exception to the rule. I think yes. Always, ano nga yun? Ay, nakalimutan
Once
Once
ko
a
a
na.
cheater.
cheater.
Yan, yun yung problema. Kinakalimutan mo agad.
Ulyanin eh.
But I agree
Yes.
also, yes. Based on my what I see in men and women, once a cheater, always a cheater, or at least a strong tendency to. Okay, so to positive things, best love advice.
For me, self-care is super important. um I mean, like, I've heard it so many times from other people, but now I completely understand. Like, you can't love fully, or you can't be 100% for somebody else if you're not 100% with your part. I mean, you can't be 100% with others if you can't be 100% with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it reflects a lot, like with the things you do or the things that you argue about. Like, you can let the little things pass as long as like you're 100% sure with yourself, like what you believe, and like, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about like some women tend to be relationship chameleons. Kasi parang you don't love yourself enough. So you just, oh, my boyfriend's a skateboarder. Ako rin. You know, things like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
go on, Bea.
Yeah, I think it's easy to be a chameleon. Definitely, because you get engrossed into their life. But if you really know what you want, you will have a much easier time to sticking to 1 to 2 colors rather than, like you said, mahirap pag
Still
14
the
colors.
colors.
Oh, okay ba? Okay, ah.
See, I'm learning a lot. Okay. I have a question because this is one of my favorite topics, which is heartbreak. Everyone goes through it. So, Ariel, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your first heartbreak and how you got over it, healed from it. It's a life skill. You need to learn how to deal with heartbreak, I think, for women.
um Where do I begin? Like for me, because it was about cheating.
Mm.
It was really really tough on me, just because it was a 6 year relationship. So it wasn't just towards me, but like a lot of other people were hurt because of course like you try to get to know a person for so long, and then
Yeah.
eventually like you find out that they're doing things behind your back, and
Yeah.
not just like one time thing, but it was like simultaneous, so and continuous, and I never knew if like how long that started or how long it was going on for. So yeah, for me, what I learned from it is, yeah, like just really working on myself. And for me, like I think it was good that I had a really good like support system,
Yeah.
because actually I when I when I broke up with that guy, um I actually was super 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 sad, and I locked myself up in the room for like weeks,
Mm.
and people were just literally going to my house and like forcing me to eat, and like trying to be there for me, and
Mm.
they didn't even have to say anything, just the presence was really really good. And that's when I realized it's like I revolved my whole life around that relationship for so long. That's why
Yeah.
it hurts so much more.
Yeah.
So there, that's why I'm saying that you really have to be 100% first by yourself before
Yeah.
you get into anything.
I have a follow up because this is something I've heard of a current situation. And okay, let's say the girl, her partner is cheating on her. And, they've been together for so long. She has no idea. And there are people around her that know of the situation, but they're scared to tell her. What do you think? Do you think someone should tell her, or I don't even know what my question, because we all know what the right thing to do is, right? But sometimes people don't want to say it because they feel like it will break the person, right? Especially if they're gonna get married, and what do you think? Like, what should you say? Because I've never been in that situation where I know of someone cheating on that person. But if let's say Shari found out my someone I'm dating is cheating, should she tell me, or should she
For
just
me,
like, yeah? I know there's an obvious answer, but it seems like people don't want to do it. Do you know what I
oh,
mean?
yeah, I think I was in a similar situation before wherein I saw something I shouldn't have, and
Okay.
of course yeah, like something like that. And for me, since I'm close to that person naman, I felt like I had that responsibility, because
Mm.
I'd want her or whoever my friend is who's like to do the same thing for me, basically. How I said it, I just confronted her. I said, this is what I saw, and it's completely up to you if you want to do anything about it, or
Mm.
clarify it, or talk to him about it. But that's what I saw, and that's all I know. So I don't know how long it's been going on. Um, but yeah, I think it's like as a friend also,
Yeah.
if you know something's up, like I think it's a responsibility basically.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
sorry, one more. Biglang naging ano na eh. How
Asking
about
for help.
looking at someone's phone when you have like a gut, or like, there are women. I don't look at guys' phones anymore, but I know there are people that they can't stop
Anymore.
looking anymore.
You go
Leave
through.
it in the past. Of course, we all go through our kililing moments. But what do you think? If you have instinct, is it like justify? Like, what do you call that? Like a woman's instinct,
Justifiable.
right?
Uh-oh.
Is it justifiable to just speak?
Yeah, actually, that when that whole thing happened years ago, literally when somebody told me about it, and there were actually receipts, I really said, "Oh my gosh, this is what I've been feeling." Like it was, I already knew it basically, and I just didn't act upon it. So yeah, like trust your gut talaga. Like girls have this crazy ability.
We have the
We're
intuition.
psychos.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right.
Pero
That
in
answers my
connection
questions.
to your first question na should you tell, alam mo how my, remember when I was active pa on Bumble before and Tinder, ang dami ko nakikita mga lalaki doon na alam ko taken. And like in my head, I was like, I know I should screenshot this and send it to their girlfriend. Pero I panic and I swipe left. So hindi ko na mahanap
Mm.
ulit. So pero sometimes I think about it after na parang, oh my gosh, I'm so guilty. Like I should have sent it. So don't be
Okay.
me. Tell.
Yeah.
Don't be guilty. Ang dami
But
yung mga iba
also,
na-engaged na. I'm like, ba yan?
yeah, but there are
Ayun.
also like some relationships, I don't know,
Mm.
like apparently it's like acceptable.
Yeah, then that's okay if it's open. Like I think that's fine as long as you told them. Like,
Yeah.
diba? Parang, but if it's not, if the girl doesn't know and it's only the guy who thinks it's open,
Oh,
yan
siya lang.
yan ang
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Like
answering my 911
Like for me, it's
question.
like emotional cheating talaga is worse than like physical.
Okay,
Oh,
another
super yan.
additional. What counts as cheating? What's the lowest form? Like, text pa lang, cheating na yun, diba? Or like, any, like, conversation na malandi, cheating na yun. True or false?
Uh, it depends on the conversation.
Sumasakit na yung ulo ko dito.
I know.
Ako feeling ko true. I was talking to Mike about this. And then, my boyfriend said, like, I said, what's cheating? Sabi niya, as long as there's intention in your head beyond it being friendship, kahit na you're not doing anything, that's cheating. And I was like,
Okay.
damn.
Yeah,
Let's go
you
with
can
that.
say a
Let's go.
lot. Yeah, you can like sense a lot from how the conversation is going. If there's like a hidden agenda somewhere. I mean,
Mga malagkit
we're all
tingin mo.
mature. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yung mga lalaki talaga, I have to
Okay,
say.
so speaking of cheating, which is something that men shouldn't do, what else? What should men stop doing, and what should us women stop doing when it comes to dating and relationships?
For me, it's just like lying in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it's disrespect not just to that person, but also to yourself, because it's like you're not showing your real self, right? And it's like, why don't you want to? I mean, you're in a partnership or in a relationship or something, and that means like working together, or like, you know, like how do you say it? Like you basically just share conversations, and if there's something being hidden on one end, it's like, why? Like you already, yeah.
Mm-mm. True.
Yeah, that's what's scary. There are actually people that can lie and just like think it's okay. That's
Yeah.
bizarre. But I mean, it's just they want to keep the person, right? Because if you say it, there's a risk of losing the person. And I think that's the tough thing. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I
Some
like
people
that.
kasi are such good liars na they even lie to themselves. Like to the point na parang they just believe it.
It's a skill, ah. It's a skill.
Yeah. My gosh. Okay, let's go na lang to the most positive word in the world, which is love. And Ariel, going through everything you've gone through, what is love for you?
You can find love everywhere, right? But
Yeah.
it's a feeling or an emotion for me that keeps people committed, or like just being bonded with somebody. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, or it could be with anyone. Based on all my experiences, it's like a work in progress,
Hmm.
but also being able to trust your gut along the way. Yeah.
I remember we had Moira in one of our episodes, and she was saying that when the love feels really calm and you're at peace, it's something so different. And I guess coming from kind of a traumatic experience, how would you say that what's like a healthy relationship for you, considering what you're in now?
Yeah, I completely agree with feeling calm. Because with my past relationships we're in, of course, it didn't work, right? I did have my apprehensions. Like when things happened, or when we would fight, like I would always think about like like how things would eventually scale up if it goes bad. And I've
Yeah.
always had that feeling, like through all my relationships in the past, like there's always that heavy feeling, but you kind of just shove it away.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, if also it's like if it's a really long relationship, you're just like andito na tayo eh, like
Mm.
like sayang naman, like let's just
Mm.
make it work. But now that I feel like I'm in a very healthy relationship, it feels so calm, and
Mm.
I don't have to prove anything to anyone, or I can just be myself fully. And yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Question though, how did you learn to trust again? You know, some women who got cheated on live their or experience their next relationships through like very like dark glasses, you know, like they just think
Yeah.
of the worst thing possible and they just can't enjoy it. So what's your advice to completely just let go and trust again?
Oh yeah. That's hard.
Yeah, for me, it's like the biggest help was the people around me reminding me that it wasn't my fault. Because of
Mm.
course, like um of course when it happened, like they would question, like didn't you see this coming, or was he showing signs in the past? And I said yes, I did, but their question is, why didn't you end it there palang? So it's not that easy. Like
Mm.
especially if it's like you're there already, right? But the support group was just really really good, both my family and my friends. And of course, I was actually set up during that time. My boyfriend now is somebody I was set up with when I was at my lowest. So I actually
Oh.
declined it at first. I said, wag muna, grabe, it's been 2 weeks pa lang. So I kind of like extended it. um, then eventually it happened and we clicked, and that whole stretch of me being single was like the most eye-opening like experience. Like I had time for myself, I had time with my friends, my family, and for
Mm.
some reason it brought us all together. Like it was something that we would laugh about na, and so much opportunities also came during that
Mm.
time. So I feel like moving forward, if I didn't have anyone with me, and if I just stayed in my room and just cried
Yeah.
all
Right.
day, parang
Mm.
walang mangyayari sa akin.
Mm. I can't imagine no the feeling. I mean, I think some women also always think na, oh my gosh, I got locked because I'm pangit or whatever. I mean, look at you, Ariel. You look great. You have abs all the time, and still things like this can still happen. So it's not you, it's them. Okay.
Yeah.
You were gonna
My
ask
gosh.
something, right? Bea?
Oh no. I mean, cheating is such a big thing. It's like
Mm,
I just feel like it's that person is not that wasn't the right person for you, and they didn't respect you enough to either communicate why they cheated, or because you it's normal to kind of want to divert. Like if you get annoyed at someone, you might get attracted by someone, but you have to communicate it, I think, and be like, you're pissing me off today and it's making me think someone is hot along the corner, and I don't want to cheat. But parang it's normal. You get annoyed. Like you can't possibly
Yeah.
love your partner and like think they're hot every single day.
yeah.
It's like
I mean,
they're gonna do something. They're gonna do something that annoys you.
mm-mm.
Yeah, for
Anyway,
sure.
anyways, raming hugot. This is a very
Yeah.
hot topic for me.
Oo nga. It's
And
always.
I see your face, Bea.
Bea will tell you more
It's
after this.
okay.
we talked a bit about your past, your, I guess, present, and moving forward and looking into the future.
Yeah,
This is one of my favorite questions, and I think it's Shari's favorite.
it's my favorite.
Um,
Yep.
use 3 words to describe your life. 1 word for the past, 1 word for the present, and 1 word for the future.
Okay, so for the past, I think it's really just purely experience or training, or either or. I feel like those things had to happen, like it planted seeds. Because
Mm.
for the present, I feel really fulfilled. When I look back now, it's just like, wow, I can't believe I went through that. And
Yeah.
I'm happy where I am now. So the future, um, exciting,
Mm.
but still scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Because especially now with the pandemic, everything's just so uncertain, so I
Mm.
can't really like look way too far.
Mm.
Now I think in terms of planning, I'm just like 2 weeks ahead or like 3 weeks ahead at the most. But
Yeah.
yeah.
God, okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
being so open and sharing from abs to, I don't know, fab love
Everything in
life.
Love.
between.
Fab love life, 90. No cheating, I think is best. But yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
thank you so much. But yeah,
Thanks,
that's it.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank
How
you.
should people reach you, or like Pure Nectar's Instagram or something?
For me, like cheating. Is it?
Biglang sinansa Pure Nectar. Eh. You have a juice for people who cheat.
You have a juice for people na palaging niloloko? Kasi, that's good.
You should make a juice for that. Maraming mga babaeng kailangan yan.
Oo.
For Instagram, Arielle Esca. If you have any relationship issues that I can help with, and for Pure Nectar, of course, the Pure Nectar Instagram also.
Yeah, just juice, drink juice. Make you happier than drinking alcohol, I think. Walang hangover. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Stay
Thank
thirsty.
you.